All right, hi everyone. So I'm Sinta Danu. I am a professional psychic and astrologer with over 15 years of experience, and I'm opening today up for any questions you have about astrology, especially around the eclipses, because the eclipses may have happened, but they're definitely still in effect, and they will be for at least the next 6 months to 2 years, depending on how they affect your chart and are affected by the upcoming eclipses, aspects, transits, etc. So even though a lot of us may think that, oh, well, we're done with the eclipses, that we're out of that energy, no, definitely not. We're still in it. At the very minimum, we're going to still be feeling the effects of the eclipse in general, just like really intensely until this upcoming supermoon, which is the 16th or 17th of October. And that's an almost eclipse, so definitely going to feel it at least till then, if not fully until November. And in general, the eclipses actually affect you for at least 6 months and sometimes up to 2 years, depending on how they are aspecting the upcoming eclipses and transits, right? So we're definitely still in the middle of eclipse season. We're definitely still going to see more to come with what's happening with the eclipses, so that's why I'm talking about it. I know I'm a little late to the party. It's because I've been very, very busy with event season. So, of course, if you have any questions, make sure to ask. And I'm probably going to post this on YouTube too. So, like, leave questions in the comments and I'll get back to you guys when I'm able to. I do have Colorado Springs Body, Mind, Spirit Expo this weekend. So, I am going to be doing the fairs this weekend. I'm hoping to do a live stream every day, though, for the next couple days, or at least approximately the next week, in order to prepare for the upcoming class that I'm doing. So if you are interested in learning about astrology yourself, I do have a class to teach you all the basics so that you can actually read your chart. And it's of course good to get your chart read by someone else, but when you actually understand astrology, one, you're going to have a better time when you get an astrology reading, because you're going to understand the astrologer a little better, because astrologers have a tendency to kind of talk in astrology speak 24/7 and don't always like relay that information in a way that's understandable. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, so if you are looking into that, awesome. If you really want to learn about astrology and maybe just dip your toes in, see what's there, I would definitely recommend at least signing up for the newsletter, because you can get the first of the Astrology Basics course. So it's a 6-class course, 6-workshop course. The first class is pre-recorded, and you can get it for free if you sign up for the newsletter. So definitely sign up for the newsletter if you're looking to get the Astrology Basics Introduction to Astrology, because you can get that for free. It's about an hour long, and it talks about, you know, why different parts of astrology are important in the first place. So it's a lot more helpful than just like learning about the signs or learning about the houses individually. It actually helps you to understand how those work in a chart together in order to actually understand a reading in full. So that's the first class, is an introduction to astrology. It goes over all the things with what is it that a chart actually is like made up of, like how is, you know, the signs important, the houses important, the planets, you know, what are they actually used for, and what they are literally. Now, that's the first class, and you can get that for free right now if you sign up for the newsletter. So definitely check that out. Other than that, of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get to them as I can. So for starters, we're going to talk about the September eclipse that happened first, right? So September 17th, we had the Pisces full moon eclipse. Now, this was a very powerful eclipse, and I did do a couple other videos on this already. You may have seen it in some of the groups. There was also a collab that I did with Lori Wall that you can see on her page, her personal page. It's just Lori Wall, spelled W-A-H-L. So definitely go check that out. But I want to go a little bit more in depth with it, because one, it was a really powerful eclipse, and we talked about how the eclipse was bringing a lot of energy to a certain area in the skies, and that wherever it is landing in your chart is going to show you where it's activating new psychic abilities, where it's bringing in downloads, where you may be feeling a sense of getting clairvoyant activations, right? So wherever the eclipse fell in the September 17th eclipse, you probably got some more activations. So this could show up as having more vivid dreams. It could show up as just being more clairvoyant in general, when maybe before you didn't realize that you were. But all of that's being activated because it was a lot of very intense spiritual energy sent to one specific area in the sky, which is going to hit your chart in one specific area. So you're going to want to look at your birth chart, and that's why I do have a link in the comments for a free birth chart. So definitely, if you are really interested in seeing where this eclipse was affecting you, pull up your birth chart. It's going to help. Especially because this was so powerful. And this is why a lot of us have been feeling sick. This is why a lot of us have been having headaches, migraines, staying up all night, not being able to sleep, not feeling quite right, feeling kind of here or there, kind of icky for one reason or another, is because of this eclipse was creating a lot of dissolving of the old, right? It's dissolving anything that's out of alignment, and anything that doesn't really serve us and doesn't serve humanity is being kind of dissolved. So the spiritual people in the world, people who are psychics or are just particularly in touch with the spirit world in some way, we're getting recalibrated. So that's why we're feeling kind of not so great over the past couple weeks. But you want to see where this is really affecting you personally. But I want to pull up the chart and go over it, because this will affect you for at least the next 6 months. This is a bigger theme than just, oh, the eclipse happened one day and it's over. That's not how this works. It actually affects your chart and you for a 6-month period, and indicates the shifts and changes and soul growth that you will have over this 6-month period. So when we're looking at the chart, we have the moon in Pisces. It's conjunct Neptune. That's part of what makes this so powerful, right? Pisces is the sign of spirituality. It's the sign of dreams, of connecting to the divine and the universal subconscious. It also has a lot to do with clairvoyant abilities. All of that is happening here with the moon in Pisces, especially because it's conjunct Neptune. So this is really amplified here because of this. Because Neptune rules Pisces, so it's amplifying that energy, creating more of it. And this is also can be a little unnerving because it's the sign of illusions and deception. It's also the sign of the imagination. So there's a lot of creative downloads coming through. There's a lot of spiritual downloads coming through wherever this is hitting in your chart. So definitely, I would pull that up to look at where that's going to hit, because you want to see where 25 degrees to 28 degrees Pisces is in your chart to see how it's actually affecting you. Now, this is also part of a huge kite formation. And what I didn't mention in any of my other videos that I can recall is that this is a portal. This is literally a portal from the spirit world entering our world due to the sacred geometry of having a kite formation. Because as you can see here, there's a sextile to Uranus, these green lines, the sextile to Uranus, the sextile to Pluto, and then Pluto and Uranus are also trining down here to the sun, right? So that you can see this huge, it looks like a kite that you would fly as a child, or you could as an adult as well, but so it's creating this huge kite formation. And with that, it's pulling all the energy from the sun, from Uranus, from Pluto, to the moon and Neptune and the North Node. So this is really meant to really activate us and push us towards that 5D consciousness, that Christ consciousness, towards spirituality, spiritual truths, and like integrating that into our lives. So that is why this is so major, is because of this huge formation. And you're going to want to see where this is affecting you. And I did kind of want to pull up, I do have, you know, each of the signs, how this actually is affecting them. And remember, this is a 6-month thing, at least. The theme that you're going to feel with this is at least 6 months of where this is actually activating you. Now, for Aries, we've got the moon in the 12th house. So for Aries, all of those clairvoyant, spiritual abilities, everything that has to do with spirituality, downloads, and that dissolving and disintegration of things that are out of alignment is happening in their 12th house. And this is the house of the subconscious for Aries. So for Aries, this is your subconscious beliefs, the way that you've been programmed and conditioned. It's also your connection to divinity and the universal mind and subconscious. So with this Aries, you're probably really, really spiritually activated right now. You're probably getting this especially through dreams. So definitely be writing down, journaling about your dreams, because that's really going to be where this affects you the most. And this is coming from a lot of different areas with all the other planets going on, but primarily this is affecting your 12th house. Now for Taurus, this is primarily affecting your 11th house, right? So for Taurus, you may be seeing your friends having more clairvoyant abilities, or connecting with them to increase your clairvoyant abilities, or dreaming about your friends, or being connected to friendships that are very spiritual, or finding, you know, your soul tribe, right? Networking with people that are connected to you spiritually is really important for you right now. Now for Gemini, this is going to be in the 10th house. So for Gemini, this spiritual alignment, these downloads are coming in through your career. So if you are a clairvoyant, a psychic, a tarot reader, you may be having a lot of spiritual downloads in your career about, you know, things that you need to tell clients, where you need to take your career and reputation. This could also be you getting downloads about your career and what moves you need to make next, even if you're not a tarot reader or a psychic of any sort. So these downloads are coming in through your career. This also could be coming in through like authority figures. The 10th house relates to authority and our, you know, our bosses, our jobs, things like that. So this could also be having some kind of elder or teacher that's teaching you how to access your psychic or clairvoyant abilities. If you're interested in that, that's a really good time for you. Now, Cancer, this is going to end up in the 9th house. So this is really expanding your belief system. So it's disintegrating the things that you believe, the vision that you have for the future, in order to recreate it in a way that's more spiritually aligned. So this is definitely, can also be coming through education or teaching as well. But this is all about what you believe and your vision and what you're trying to achieve in this lifetime. And also where you're adventuring and exploring. It's also other cultures. So this is coming in through those areas for you. Now for Leo, this is going to be in the 8th house. So Leo risings, especially, you're going to have a really interesting experience with this, where you're having really intense insights into death, the darkness, the depths of things, investigation, research, inheritance. So this could be, this could be psychic abilities that you have inherited already, right? So these might be, you inherit these abilities genetically through your DNA from like a grandmother, and it's just being activated right now. So likely you already have some abilities and they are being activated. Or this could really be activating new abilities around being able to investigate, see the unseen, working with the dead, working with death. Those are the areas where you're going to get these downloads and upgrades to your spiritual path if you have Leo rising. Now, if you are Virgo, right, Virgo rising, this is going to end up in your 7th house. So these spiritual insights and downloads are coming in through your partnerships and your relationship to the public. So this could be that your partner, whether that's a business partner or a spouse, or just a really important one-on-one relationship that you have with someone, that could be really activated right now, and they could be having some kind of spiritual experience and you're part of that and you're seeing that. This could also be working with them to increase your spiritual experience and clairvoyant or psychic abilities. But this is just a really good time to work with other people. This could also be working with the public in order to help them increase their psychic abilities, or to showcase your psychic abilities to the public, right, if you have Virgo rising. Now for Libra, this is going to be in the 6th house. So this is coming in through work, health, routine. So you may be getting more daily insight into your spirituality, be getting upgrades and downloads just on a daily basis, may see sudden improvements or problems with your health arising due to spiritual blocks. So that's something to keep in mind, is making sure that you're keeping up with your routines and your health and taking care of yourself. As well as, this can also be that you're getting these downloads actually through your work. So like, again, if you work as a psychic or a tarot reader or someone in the spiritual field, this might be coming through your work, and your healing abilities and psychic abilities may be really coming out and strengthening and being shown in your work at this time in some way. Even if you don't work in this kind of field, you might be using your psychic abilities in the work that you do, even if no one is really aware of that. Now for Scorpio. So for Scorpio, this is going to be in the 5th house. So this is really coming through your creativity. This is a really great time for you to create, to draw, sing, write, dance, anything that has to do with your creative spark, connecting with your inner child, because that's where these downloads and upgrades are coming through. So this is a great time for you to do that inner child work, to tap into that creativity and to tap into your inner child. So definitely take some time to do that. This is also coming in through romance, love, play, joy. So the more that you are stepping into your joy, the more you are stepping into play, the more you are, pursuing a romantic relationship, the more downloads and upgrades you're getting spiritually here, right? And you're probably learning a lot about yourself through romance, through love, as well as through play and joy during this time with this. Now for Sagittarius, this is going to be in the 4th house. So this is coming in through family, through the home. So this could be, you're getting a lot of downloads and upgrades while you're at home, right? So those spiritual gifts are coming in through when you're alone, when you're a little bit more isolated, spending time alone. This could also, again, be inherited psychic abilities and gifts that are being activated, because the 4th house also has to do with our ancestors and our bloodlines and our family. So this could be psychic gifts, clairvoyant abilities that have come through your lineage, through your DNA, right? And now are being activated at this time. Now for Capricorn, this is going to fall into your 3rd house. So this has a lot more to do with community, speaking, siblings, right? So these could be gifts that you share with your siblings. This could be gifts that you're, expressing in your community. This could be also you doing a lot of talking and communicating about your psychic abilities, your spiritual insights to the world, right? Just being able to communicate and speak that out to community, right? For Aquarius, this is in the 2nd house. So you're seeing a lot of spiritual growth and maybe a little bit of falling apart there as well in the 2nd house. Because, yeah, so it's coming through the 2nd house, which can be a little bit destabilizing. But your psychic abilities, your spiritual downloads and upgrades are coming in through the way that you make money, the way that you value yourself, the way that you value life in general. All of that is getting upgraded currently, which will hopefully then make it easier for you to make money in the future, especially when Saturn gets out of your 2nd house. Now for Pisces rising, this is going to be in your 1st house. So this is all about your sense of self, your autonomy, your independence. So all of these upgrades are very personal for you. They're hitting you spiritually. They're hitting you in your physical body. They're hitting you in regards to your ego and your instincts, and the way that you see yourself and operate in the world is really being strongly affected. And this is where you're going to be getting all those spiritual downloads and upgrades, is through how you see yourself and present yourself in the world. So lots of beautiful opportunities for everyone with this eclipse. So even though this was on the 17th, it's still in effect. You can still take advantage of this. This is at least in effect until the next set of eclipses in March. So, take what resonates, leave what don't, but take this information that you do find useful and apply it to your life now in a way that is helpful, right? So for Pisces especially, this is a time when you're really focusing on your sense of self and who you are and your autonomy and independence. So it's very important for you to spend time over the next 6 months learning the lessons around valuing yourself, valuing your independence and autonomy and freedom, right? So figure out where this is in your chart and then go from there. So that is the first eclipse that happened. So I do also want to look at the other eclipse, which is going, we're about 30 minutes in. Let's see. So this eclipse happened yesterday, right? But again, it's still going to be in effect for at least 6 months. And honestly, the new moon eclipses tend to be in effect for 2 years. To fully actually manifest this energy. So that's something to take into account, is this is a beginning, like a really big brand new beginning that won't fully manifest for that like 2-year period. So take that into account when we're going over this eclipse. But yeah, so this eclipse, let me pull up the chart again. So this eclipse is on the south node and it's conjunct Black Moon Lilith, which is really heavy energy. Mercury is there too. So there is a sense of rebelliousness, feminine rage, you know, fight the patriarchy kind of vibes here. You know, that's where our minds are, because Mercury's also conjunct this. This is very much where our egos and our emotional bodies are, as well as our inner dark feminine instincts and our mind are all in the same area. So there's this huge force for justice, fairness, balance that has to do with the way that things have been, with the past, with our karma, past lives, past decisions, as well as also, like, you know, our collective karma as well, right? Because this is affecting the collective, not just any one person or thing. This affects all of us. Now, this real intense desire for balance, fairness, and change, right, is really being kind of triggered, because here we got Mars in sensitive Cancer, and Cancer likes to fight, okay? So there is a lot of fight here, especially because Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? So this is, Cancer has to do with women and the feminine and the mother figure. And with Mars being there, I mean, women in general kind of feisty right now. Very, very much want to get up and fight kind of energy with this. And we've already been seeing this over like politics and stuff, that there is a lot of like fight the patriarchy vibe, and it's being really activated and triggered with this kind of harsh square from Mars to this little stellium over here, this collection of planets in the same sign in very close degree. So lots of feistiness, a lot of fight energy with this. Because, you know, here's the thing. Mars being in Cancer is really kind of triggering all of our emotional space, because Cancer has to do with emotional security and how we feel safe in our bodies. And with Mars being there, Mars is the planet of anger, instincts, violence, sex drives. So it's just like there's a lot of tension and aggression in how we feel right now. So it's really kind of activating us in a way that we don't feel very safe. We feel the need to fight, to be more aggressive at this time with Mars going through Cancer. And we will be feeling that for a while, because it's going to be in Cancer for several months, or at least a couple months. So very heavy trigger energy with this, right? Because we're all in a place where we're feeling extra feisty, and just like people are just extra aggressive right now, especially women with this lineup are super aggressive at the moment. So I would not suggest getting on the bad side of any women in your life, because they are already pretty angry, it looks like. So something to keep in mind, because yeah, definitely we're all feeling aggressive, more aggressive than normal. We're all feeling a need for freedom, fairness, and feeling the need to rebel against the system in order to create this sense of fairness, which is also part of why we're feeling so aggressive. There's a lot of people ready to kind of get up and fight for things to be better. So this is also in conjunct Saturn. So with that, we're looking at, there's an imbalance between the universal consciousness, the universal ego, the universal subconscious, right? Our universal collective experience, right? Our collective ego and emotional space and mind and rebellious nature are out of balance with Saturn, which is authority figures, which, like the government, right? So we're looking at, no one's happy with the government, which we all know. Like, no one's happy right now. No one's happy about anything that's going on right now. Things are not good. And so there's like this need for balancing that, because the authority figures right now, there's a lot of oppression and confusion, lies, deception in regards to government and authority figures at this time. Now, it is being kind of exposed with this aspect. I've definitely been seeing a lot of exposing of like the darker things that are going on, right? The sun and the moon bring light to a situation. They bring awareness to it so that it is seen. And we are seeing that things are out of balance. We are seeing that things aren't good. And we are seeing the lies and deception from our government and from the authority figures in our lives, and from systems that are oppressive, right? So we're seeing this imbalance definitely really affecting us on a personal level. We also got Venus over here in Scorpio, which is, I believe, in detriment. Doesn't like being in Scorpio. Scorpio is a little too intense for Venus. And this is, of course, creating this beautiful water trine, which is really intense, between our heart and our values, which is in this intense, obsessive, possessive Scorpio, trining Mars, our instincts and our sex drive. That's very much connected to home and family, feeling this need to fight in regards to our emotional space. And then trining Saturn, which is creating structure in our spirituality, right? So there is some beautiful aspects here. This is definitely really good if you're wanting to tap into your psychic abilities, tap into your clairvoyant abilities, tap into that water energy, tap into creating deeper emotional bonds. This is a really good time even maybe to start a relationship potentially of some sort. And for some of you, this is an indication of a very important, significant long-term relationship coming in, because Venus is the planet of love, Mars is the planet of your sex drive, and Saturn is the planet of time and commitment, right? So this could indicate some people are getting, you know, either finding the person that they will marry at a later date, or they are getting married due to this lineup. It just really depends where it's hitting in your chart, but it's also great for accessing your intuitive abilities at this time, so keep that in mind. So that's kind of the general that's going on, and I did want to look over how this one is affecting the signs. I'm including both eclipses because I've been very busy and haven't been able to do these ones on time. Where is I took notes. I just need to find them. Okay. But let's talk about like where this is really affecting people. And for one, this is like a new moon eclipse. So this is a new beginning. This is a seed that's being planted that will not manifest fully for the next 2 years. So this is kind of in general where you're going, where you're headed. And you might see some glimpses of that over the coming weeks, especially as we near that full moon. That's an almost eclipse. It's a super full moon that happens around the 16th. You might feel some of that coming up, and you start to see where you're going with this and where that seed is starting to kind of grow, but not see its full manifestation again for a 2-year period. Now, and you might not even like have an inkling sometimes until like about 2 years out, and then suddenly, oh, the love of your life pops in 2 years after a significant eclipse like this, right? Especially because this is in Libra. Libra is the sign of marriage. It's the sign of fairness and partnerships. So it's very connected to marriages. This is a very significant thing in terms of people who are looking to couple up in some way. Now, for Aries, this is going to be in your 7th house, right? It's going to be over here in the 7th house is where the new moon eclipse is happening. So you're planting seeds in regards to fairness and rebellion in terms of your partnerships, right? Your business partnerships, your partnership with your spouse, your one-on-one relationships that are important with family and other people, your relationship to the public. That's where this new beginning is happening for you, Libra. So this is a time for you to really nurture, you know, maybe finding a spouse or your relationship with your spouse, finding or nurturing a relationship with a business partner, nurturing your relationship to the public. So that's what seeds really is being planted here. And there's something kind of rebellious about the seed that's being planted here because Black Moon Lilith is there and it's on the South Node. But really focus on your relationships and the seeds that you're planting there, because that's what's going to grow and evolve over the next 2 years for you. Now for Taurus, this is going to end up in the 6th house. So you're planting seeds and new beginnings around fairness and a little bit of rebellious nature in terms of work, your daily life, your daily routine, as well as your health. So this could indicate maybe some health issues coming up. But this could also just be you kind of starting to rebel against your routine because it's not fair in some way. And there's something kind of karmic about that as well. Now for Gemini, this is going to be in the 5th house. So this is planting seeds around love, romance, children, play, joy. So getting a little bit rebellious around how you love, how you enjoy yourself. This is the house of pleasure, right? So you really focus on what seeds are you planting around pleasure, right? Around the kind of romantic life you want, around what kind of relationship you want with your children. Really planting a seed of how you nurture joy in your life, right? And maybe doing that in kind of a rebellious way. Maybe you're raising your child in a way that's kind of different or out there in some way. Maybe they're being homeschooled or something. But just really focus on that, as well as your creativity. This is a great time for you to really create and express yourself. So spend some time thinking about how you can nurture yourself and your joy, especially through creativity. For Cancer, this is going to be in the 4th house. So this is new beginnings around home, around family, around your lineage and ancestors. So this is a time to kind of nurture. What do you want your home life to look like? What do you want your family life to look like? How do you want to connect to your ancestors? This is a really great time to nurture that, and especially around what does it look like for things to be fair at home? How does it look like for, you know, things to be fair with your family, with your ancestors? So, and there might be some rebelling against what your family has done in the past, against your lineage, and being that black sheep, right, that's kind of coming out and saying, I'm not going to do this anymore because this is not fair to me, and kind of rebelling against some norms or traditions that have been kind of placed upon you. Now, for Leo, this is going to be in the 3rd house. So this is looking at communication, right? So this is communication, this is community, this is siblings. So this can be looking at what it means to be fair and balanced in terms of how you communicate and deal with your community and your siblings, and making those relationships more fair, and maybe rebelling against anything that's kind of keeping things from being balanced and fair. This could also be communicating in a way that is beautiful and artistic in some way, and also rebellious. Maybe the things that you're talking about are very like taboo in some way. You're rebelling against some sort of norms in the way that you're communicating and how you're connecting to your community. Now for Virgo, this is going to be in the 2nd house. So this is a little bit about fairness and rebellion in regards to how you feel about your self-worth and the things that you value, as well as your income and the money coming into your life. So you may be rebelling in how you're making your income. Maybe you're getting unsettled with a job that you're at or something of that nature. This could be also rebelling against anything that makes you feel like you're not worthy or that you're not good enough. And this can also be making sure that you're fairly compensated, and if you're not, rebelling against that and standing up for yourself. Now for Libra, this is going to be in the 1st house. So this is all about your sense of self, your autonomy, independence. So you're really nurturing, being fair to yourself, and, you know, making sure that you're taking yourself into account, not always overgiving. So making sure that you have autonomy and kind of rebelling against anything that's, impeding on your sense of self and your autonomy and your freedom. Now for Scorpio, this is going to be in the 12th house. So this is creating new seeds in regards to spirituality, your subconscious, your connection to spirit. So, and also things to do with institutions like hospitals. So this is a really good time to kind of focus on really deepening your connection to spirit and to your spirit guides, your spirit team, especially like building a relationship with them, since the moon and sun are in Libra, because you're really focusing on kind of rebelling against anything that's not fair in regards to karma and the spirit world and your subconscious, right? So like there's a lot of growth in the way that you operate on like a subconscious level. But this is a really great time for Scorpio to start really building that relationship with their spirit guides right now. So if you are a Scorpio, definitely tap into your spirit team, your spirit guides, the spirit world, because there's lots of things coming through in that area. And this can also be, you know, discovering new and beautiful gifts, psychic gifts, clairvoyance, things like that may be being nurtured through the next 6 months for you. Now for Sagittarius, this is going to end up in your 11th house. So this is showing you there's new beginnings happening in networking, friends, especially around the fairness and justice around your friendships, and kind of rebelling against anything that is not fair or equal in terms of your friendships and networks, and anything that may be impeding your dreams in some way because it's unfair, right? For Capricorn, this is happening in the 10th house. So this is showing you that there's a lot of rebellious nature around making things more fair in regards to your career, reputation, and status. So anything that is interfering with your career, reputation, and status in a way that is unfair, that's unequal in some way, that you're rebelling against that, but it's also creating a seed of beauty and balance and relationships in regards to your career. So make sure to nurture those relationships with authority figures, with your career, with your reputation, as well as people that can help your career and reputation. Now for Aquarius, this is happening in the 9th house. So this is new beginnings around your belief systems, your vision for your life, long distance travel, other cultures, foreign people, foreign places. This can also have to do with teaching. So you are probably feeling really rebellious in terms of anything that's unfair and unequal in terms of teaching, having to do with foreigners, foreign places, having to do with your vision for your life and your ability to like move in your life, as well as any belief systems that may be causing imbalance, right? You're rebelling against all of that, Aquarius. Now for Pisces, this is happening in your 8th house. So for you, this is new beginnings that are kind of like deaths and endings too, right? This has a lot more to do with endings, but this could also be tapping into psychic abilities that have to do with the dead in some way, right? Talking to spirits, putting spirits to rest, etc. This could have to do with any relationships that have to do with shared resources and, you know, like inheritance, things of that nature. So this is a really good time to focus on your relationships that also have to do with intimacy, the darker side of life, the occult, and nurturing those relationships and maybe those psychic gifts at this time, and rebelling against anything that is unfair in terms of like shared resources, and starting a new beginning where you are more aligned with what is fair and equal for you in terms of any finances or resources that you are sharing with other people. All right, but so that's for Pisces. So we've gone through the whole zodiac, and of course if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them the best I can. But these eclipses are really powerful in terms of like every eclipse affects you for 6 months up to 2 years. And it's all about learning to harness that, which is a lot of the work that I do. And these ones were really powerful in the ability to kind of unlock psychic abilities especially. So with that, you know, there were so many spiritual downloads and upgrades due to the kite to Neptune and the moon in the Pisces eclipse. And with this new moon eclipse, there's a lot of new beginnings that can lead to things being a lot more beautiful, fair, equal, etc., especially if you're willing to rebel against things that are not. And on top of that, there is a beautiful ability to like access your psychic abilities and build them for the long term by connecting into the eclipse that happened yesterday, the October Libra eclipse. All right, so I am going to pull a couple cards just because I am feeling called to, and see what's the general advice of kind of how to deal with the rest of this eclipse energy that we're still dealing with, because it definitely is a lot. So I'm just shuffling my cards so we can get some wisdom on that. Because yeah, this energy is super intense still, although it does, I don't know, the Libra one, well, they both felt good to me actually. I'm pretty aligned with eclipse and celestial energies, so I'm pretty comfortable when things get kind of chaotic because I know how to stay in tune with it instead of let it kind of mess up my life. I used to have some huge terror moments on every eclipse, but I've thankfully done enough shadow work and spiritual work that that doesn't occur so much anymore. And it's more, I'm kind of in control of the tower moment and less like the tower moment's happening whether I like it or not kind of energy. So these eclipses have been pretty good for me, although I have been getting migraines and feeling not been able to sleep, which I've heard a lot of people were experiencing that with the Pisces one especially. But let's get some advice on how to deal with this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. So it seems that whoever this reading is for, so whoever sees this, it seems like you're feeling a little bit disempowered in some way. At the very least, you're focused more on your finances, your well-being, your health, your stability, and less so about giving to everyone else right now. You're focusing more on taking care of yourself. And what's working for you? Yeah, you've let go of some sort of responsibility. You may have been taking on other people's responsibilities, been taking on too much at work or in life in general. And that was really, really heavy, and you've let some of that go for some reason. So either you're not taking on other people's work or other people's responsibilities, and now you're able to feel a little bit better in yourself and focus more on yourself. What's not working well for you is there is some kind of like karmic situation that's occurring with this, and maybe that was part of why things were so heavy. This could have to do with finances, that they're not quite where you would want them to be because there is something with some negative karma that you have incurred in some way. And this could also, like, karma can not only just be your karma, you can have inherited karma from like family. So if like poverty was an issue in your family, you can inherit the karma around that creates poverty. So it's not necessarily that you did anything wrong. You might also just be dealing with like generational karma. Okay, yeah, so you're ready for a new beginning, but you're just not really clear on what it looks like, and so you probably haven't quite made any moves yet, other than letting go of these responsibilities that are kind of holding you back because they're a little bit too much. And subconsciously, you're at a stalemate. You're feeling very stuck. You're feeling like you can't move forward, that you can't really make a decision, feeling like you're kind of at odds or in conflict with someone subconsciously, and just feeling like things are just not moving. And let's see, what was the past that led to this? Okay, so it seems like there was probably some kind of abusive or traumatic past of some sort. Things were really hard, and you had to kind of free yourself from that situation. And so you probably have taken on a lot of responsibilities and tried to make sure that your finances were really good and really take care of yourself, because you've been in a position that wasn't the case and where things were really hard before. And something about that situation might have to do with some of this negative karma in some way. And that could also, again, be due to like some sort of family situation. In the near future, it looks like there is some unexpected blocks and obstacles coming up for some reason. Things are just suddenly appearing and getting in the way of your plans. Let's see. Okay, so there's some fear around learning some kind of new skill or lesson that may be able to help you make money, or at least would be a hobby or something, but there's some kind of fear around some sort of lesson here, something that you need to learn. And it looks like, okay, so the people around you are kind of making it harder for you to make a decision. They're making it more confusing. You're almost kind of making a decision by just not making a decision, and it's due to the influence of the people around you. Like, you can't get like a clear answer here. Okay, and again, you're really focusing on taking care of yourself in the future, focusing on your own finances, but it seems like there still may be a struggle here. Oh, but it seems to be, okay, it seems to be working out at some point, because we're getting the Knight of Pentacles, so it looks like the finances do improve. And this is you learning that new skill. This could be learning new skills around money or hobbies. This could also be learning more about your psychic abilities and how to use them. But it's definitely improving your physical reality, your health, your finances, your stability. But there's a lot of anxiety here, yeah, because you need rest. So as you're learning these new things, you need to make sure that you're taking rest. Especially because you might be really pushing yourself too hard to the point that it could be like become a larger health problem at some point. So definitely take that rest. You're having this anxiety for a reason. You need to pull back a little bit. And I know it doesn't feel like you can, because it looks like the finances aren't really good, and you're getting the sense that you feel like you have to work and you have to do and keep moving, and if you don't, everything's going to fall apart. But you need to pull back, because the outcome will not be good if you keep pushing this hard. Yeah, focus on self-love, stabilizing your emotional space, tying up some loose ends. Yeah, that's the big thing here, is making time for that rest. Maybe releasing some need for control here as well. But yeah, definitely the finances, it looks like in the end will be they will end up being fine. It's just going to be a little bit of a struggle to get there, and to take the rest while you can, because it's very dangerous if you do not take the rest that you need. Stress is one of the biggest reasons that we have disease in the body, and with these eclipses, it's something you have to be very careful with Neptune and that full moon eclipse conjunct Neptune and Pisces, because Pisces and Neptune rule disease. So seeing where that is in your chart, you can see where you're like at extra risk to have some kind of health issue occur. So that's something to definitely check out. But take that rest. You need it. We all need it, especially with these upgrades because of this eclipse, because it has to do with Pisces energy. This is a time of rest, of reflection, of recovering. So don't push yourself so hard, because it won't be good. Universe will make you sit. Like, you either take the rest, or universe is going to come in and it's going to make you take the rest, and that's not going to be nice. Better to take the rest now before it gets out of hand. But yeah, definitely, because we are downloading so much, we are taking so much energy in with that eclipse, and that is really hard to ground for most people. And if you don't ground it properly, it gets stuck in the body and it creates disease and problems with your health in the physical body. So, and in mental health too, especially because Pisces and Neptune have to do with illusion and deception and delusion. Legit, if you're not grounding that energy properly, it can straight up make you delusional, and have like mental health problems that are like not fun. So making sure that is grounded really well is super important right now, especially because there's so much energy in water, and that is just, it's hard to ground. But yeah, of course, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. I'm almost done for today because we're an hour in. But yeah, super powerful eclipse. And we're coming up to another powerful full moon. And of course, if you are interested in learning more about the eclipses, seeing more content, I am doing another live with Lori Wall on the 15th, I believe, at 7 p.m. So definitely check that out. It's really good to kind of see what the energy is right now, because it's super intense. There's a lot of other major shifts coming that I wasn't able to fully talk about today or with my conversation with Lori. So definitely come if you're interested in seeing more about the major shifts, because we do have 5 of the slowest planets moving into new signs and the nodes moving into new signs in the next year. So the amount of like major astrological changes is huge. And this eclipse that just happened, not yesterday, but the September 17th eclipse was literally like the first domino that set that all off. So definitely check that out. And of course, if you ever need help with your own chart, if you want to get a birth chart reading so that you can learn more about yourself and your cosmic destiny and why you're here and what you should be focusing on, or if you want to get an eclipse reading, because I do personal eclipse readings to see how the eclipse is affecting you personally and individually, and what the themes for your life are for the next 6 months, and what you should be focusing on, and how to kind of plant seeds of destiny so that you can start to align with your destiny and not be so heavily affected by just fate all the time without being aware of what's actually going on. Then you can definitely, of course, go to my website. I have tons of services. I do tarot, astrology readings, whether that's birth charts, compatibility, eclipse readings, it's all there. And I do have the scheduling link in the comments below. So if you want to schedule a session, you can schedule it there, and then of course I can send you the payment link. But definitely check out the website, and that's just going to be sintadanu.com. So the same as my name, it's just my name.com. So, and yeah, and tomorrow and this weekend I'm going to be at Body, Mind, Spirit. So if you want to get discounted readings, because I do event pricing very differently than the pricing on my website, I am going to be in person at Body, Mind, Spirit Expo this weekend in Colorado Springs at the event center, the Colorado Springs Event Center over on like Palmer Park, somewhere around there. And that's going to be super exciting because readings are only like $30 for 20 minutes. So super affordable if you're looking for like a quick in-person reading just to see your birth chart or get a tarot reading and get some clarity around the energy that's going on. You can of course come see me while I'm at the fair. And I do have other events coming up which are on the website on the calendar page as well. So lots going on. And then I am starting the Astrology Basics Course workshop series on the 10th. So if you are interested in that, definitely sign up for that. You can either pay the $125 up front. It's normally like $200 for this whole course, right? For 6 classes. And you can pay the $125 up front, or you can do the payment plan for 5 payments of $125, or 5 payments of $25, right? So $25 for 5 months if you sign up for the payment plan. Also, if you just want to dip your toes in astrology, you can get the first class, the first workshop. It's pre-recorded for free if you just sign up for the newsletter, which is in the comments. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more about astrology and be able to read your chart better, because that'll go through what each part of the chart is actually for, what the signs are for, the houses, the planets, and the aspects. So definitely check that out to see if it's something that you want to learn more about, because again, it's free. You just have to sign up for the newsletter, and I will send that to you in an email with the link to the free class. And other than that, I'm going to get out of here. So, of course, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoy my content, like, share, subscribe. You know, it's one of the easiest and cheapest ways that you can share your support. And it means the world to me, because I love this work that I do and I want to be able to share more of it. And your support helps me do that and helps me get this out to more people, because a lot of people are going through a really hard time right now with the shifts that are occurring, and I feel like a lot more people need this advice, and you sharing it helps them to be able to see it. So, but I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are and whatever time it is right now, And if you have any questions, you can, of course, leave it in the comments or reach out to me personally, because I love talking about this stuff. I could talk about it all night, all day long. And I have 15 years of experience, so I have plenty to say about it. So if you want to learn more, let me know. And as well, if you want to see more content, or there's a specific type of content that you would like me to share, specific type of videos that you would like to see in the future, leave it in the comments. I love suggestions, love feedback. So if you have any suggestions about videos I should do in the future, please let me know. And I'm gonna go. All right, bye.